On our lesson today, we're talking about lines, angles, rays, and we're going to go through some vocabulary before we watch our video. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Is that okay, ladies?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm with me. Our lines. Boys and girls, when we talk about lines, lines have to do with angles as well. Angles, how many lines or how many rays do we have to have for an angle? Lorelai? Show me with your fingers, Lorelai. Oh, we're good. How many rays do we have to make an angle? Good, AJ. Good, Turner. Zaylee, can you show me? How many? 2. Right here. There's my angle, right? I have to have 2 arrays. So we're talking about a line, a straight path that extends opposite directions. And if I turn it around, you can see it. A line goes an opposite direction. It keeps going. And when you read it, you're going to read AB. Could I turn it around and go BA? Yeah. Yes. Why? Because it's indefinitely. It can go either way, both ways. So that is line. Now, we're going to talk about a line segment. Mute it and tell me what you think a line segment is. Good, AJ, I saw that. Line segment, remember, I can't stretch out my arms, but it should have like this, and it should have a stop sign. So let's turn it around, and it says a part of a line with 2 ends. So right here, and if you see this, it's got AB. So right here, it can be a line segment because it has 2 stop signs right here, okay? And then it could be BC because it has 2 stop signs there. So that is a line segment. Let's go for an end point. A point at the end of a line segment or an array. Now, if I turn it around, you can see this, boys and girls, is called a what? For an endpoint. What's this called? Somebody mute.
Ray.
Array. You have your sun, and you know how you feel the rays of the sun. See, I'm sitting right here and I can feel the rays of the sun. The sun is round and it brings lines down. So that's your array. Here's the array right here. Part of a line that has 1 endpoint and extend indefinitely on the other. Here's array. We have a point. Now, it is written like this, and you probably see it this way with our ray on top, and then it's got an X and a Y. Could I turn it around and say XY? I mean YX? Diver, why? Unmute and tell me why I can't write it that way.
Can't write it that way because it doesn't have 2 arrows because it's an endpoint. It can't.
That's correct. This is my endpoint. I can't go anymore. And if I ask Diver to go Y to X, he can't. It stops him. So you're correct. Good job, Diver. We're going to watch a little video. Oh, let me continue with my lines before we go. Perpendicular. We talked about perpendicular lines yesterday. Somebody show me. How do you make perpendicular? Show me. And what does perpendicular make?
4 right angles.
4 right angles. Lines that intersect to form right angles. And look at the way it's done. Here's your perpendicular lines, and they form 4 right angles. Now look how they wrote it. A, B, or C, D. And see, you have a line that goes all indefinitely, right? Good job. And let's look at this. Intersecting. Intersecting. Show me how you do intersecting. Good job, Lorelai. Good job, Diver. Turner. Intersecting. Intersecting has 2 acute and 2 obtuse. On the lesson that you will be doing today, that is what you're going to be talking about. Lines and angles. we're gonna watch a little video really quick on lines. It is acute. It is an acute angle. Okay. So a degree of an angle is a unit used to measure the size of an angle, the symbol of degrees. So right here, if I turned it around, you would see a 90-degree angle, correct? Correct? That's a 90-degree angle and it's straight up. It's also called what? A
right angle.
A right angle is measured to a 90-degree angle. And if you look, this will always give you the hint that it's a right angle because you have a little square, a little box there. Okay, then we have an obtuse angle. Show me with your hands what an obtuse angle should be.
All we have is salami.
Out. Is this an obtuse angle? If I can get, obtuse. Yes, obtuse angle. An angle that measures more than 90 degrees, but less than 180 degrees, correct? Here's our, oh, he's so cute, angle. Remember? Let me see if I can see it. Remember your right, acute, obtuse. An angle that measures less than 90 degrees is an acute angle. And look, 2 arrays. How many arrays does it take to make an angle? 2. Straight. You might tell me what a degree a straight line has?
180.
180. That is correct. 180 degrees. 180 degrees. How about the circle?
360 degrees.
360 degrees. Is that important to know when we're talking about angles?
Yes.
Yes, because we can always, if we want to know about this angle 180, we can subtract what, say 190, and we can find the difference from there, correct? I think, because we did the intersection. Okay, so I guess I'm going to show you the video again, an angle video that we've always watched. So let's see if this works. If y'all need to go in there and look at the videos on YouTube on that one, go ahead. One of the things that I did not share when we said it, Ortiz, remember, it is the point. It is the end of an angle or the end of a shape. Make sure you also get that. Do you have any questions on our lessons for today that you're going to have to do? Has anybody looked at your lessons today?
No.
Jalen, did you look at your lessons, your papers? Good job, Carter. Good job.
I actually finished it.
You finished it, so you had no problems. AJ, I see your thumbs up. Good. Guys, again, if you have any problems, any questions, let me know. I'm here. Anything, send me a text, send me a message, email, or when we get on here, let me know, okay? So try to make sure that you get your 2 lessons done by Friday so I can be, if you're doing it online, then I can make sure that I check you off and put your grade on there. If you're doing it on paper, make sure you get it done. That way you're not rushing through the weekend and it's done by Monday when you have to turn it in. I love you and I miss y'all. I'm sending it over to Miss Kirkendall.
Good morning, everybody. Okay, by now everyone should have read Weird and Wondrous Rocks. You should have read that on Monday. We talked a little bit about it yesterday. We learned our vocabulary words. And y'all watched a video on how rocks were formed. So does anybody have any questions before I get started asking you questions about your story today? Okay, looks good. All right, so let me share the book with y'all. We're going to do it like last time. I'm just going to go to a page and I'm going to ask you a question about that page. So be looking for your text evidence to support your answer. Okay, guys? Oh, I passed it. Okay, so my question is, what are the 2 causes for the ringing in the rocks? What causes those rocks to ring? Unmute yourself and let me know when you find the answer.
It's that rock book. The rock book. The rock book.
High levels of iron.
Repeatedly freezing.
What'd you say, Carter?
Repeatedly freezing.
Yes, repeatedly freezing. And what was the other word right there?
Being
High
hit
levels
with
of
a
iron.
Hit with the hammer.
Right here it says repeated freezing and thawing. Do y'all see that? I highlighted that.
Hey, Miss K.
There's Carter's text evidence to support her answer. Yes, Jalen?
I don't have the book, the rock one. Is it in your reading?
It's on page 37.
Oh, there is. Okay.
Does anybody else have something to add to that one?
High levels of iron.
I don't think she heard you.
When they get hit with a hammer, they ring.
Yes, good job. AJ,
Question for y'all.
something to say?
I said there might be high levels of iron.
Yes, good. So this entire paragraph tells all those things that everyone has said. The high levels of iron produce the ringing, repeated freezing and thawing, and it provides what for people? Right there it says.
Great entertainment.
It provides entertainment. So if they don't have instruments and they're using rocks to make music, would that be kind of fun?
Mm-hmm.
That sounds pretty fun.
Hey, real quick, I have a question for you guys. Why do you think repeating freezing? Okay, wait, before I ask that question, what does thawing mean? Can somebody unmute themselves and tell me that?
It means when something freezes and then unfreezes.
Right, it's unfreezes. So why do you think repeated, so more than once, freezing and thawing would make the rocks sing or produce a sound, make a sound?
Maybe it creates imperfections in the rock that just like hit the wind right, and then it makes the sound.
Hmm. Anybody else?
You hit it kind of hard and it makes that noise, I guess.
How many of you have ever watched an ice cube thaw? What kind of forms in the middle of it after a while?
It kind of forms like a hollow hole.
That's true. It forms a hollow hole kind of in the middle. So when the rocks are freezing and thawing, what gets created in them?
A hole in the middle.
A hole. And then when the air comes through, it kind of whistles. Good job, guys. I just wanted to know if y'all thought about that.
Good job. Okay, on the next page, Ms. Vallejo has a question.
Okay, so what is unique about the waterfall in Chestnut Ridge Park?
It has an eternal flame in it.
Very good. And what is burning to create the flame?
Gases in the earth.
Good job. So that natural gas is creating this flame under a waterfall. Is that intriguing to you guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Really neat.
Man.
Okay, on this page about the caverns, it tells you all about that and how they are going to do something over time. Are they going to look the exact same in the future?
No.
What's going to happen?
They're gonna undergo change.
How do they do that? How does that happen?
By using minerals from the water to help them grow in a certain direction.
Good. So they could be going one way, and maybe over the next 50 years, they're growing a different way because more water or minerals, right, Turner? Is that what you're saying? Good, guys. Okay.
Okay, so you can see this in the book, but
Sorry.
is there a place that we can actually go see them in person? Anybody? Where, Diver?
You can see them in Ruby Falls in Georgia.
That's
Yeah,
true.
closer.
There's two places really close to us where we can see these.
Diver, was you going to tell me something?
Does anybody see the subtitle right here? What's your subtitle?
Caverns, caverns and Sora, Texas. Caverns of Sora, Texas.
Ooh, I got this punctuation. Look, you've got a proper noun, comma, Texas, which means that Sonora, use your inferencing skills, has to be what? When do we do blank, comma, state? When what comes in front of it?
A
Is it
town.
a city?
A town. So if I wanted to take you guys on a field trip to go see these rocks, where are we going to go?
Sonora, Texas.
Good
That's
job,
one
guys.
place. There's one
And
in
then you can-
Mexico too.
And you can tell us how far it was to this one, miles and inches and yards. Or we could go to New Mexico, which is like an hour and a half from here as well. Carlsbad, New Mexico, where you can see it is there too. So it's really cool. We've been there, I've been there, and it's kind of scary to me, but I think it would be really neat to go.
I do too.
What about if y'all just go outside? Are y'all going to find some interesting stuff out there too?
Yeah.
What are you going to find?
Rocks.
There you go. And maybe it'll change over time.
Dirt.
Ants.
Okay, Miss Vallejo.
Okay, what causes the rocks to move?
The wind and ice the ice under the rocks that freezes and eventually gets blown with the wind and then it slides across the dirt.
Good job. Did you think that was really interesting that they had just figured that out? It was a mystery. Did y'all see that in the book? Jessie, are you trying to say something?
No.
Oh, okay, Jessie. All right, next page, guys. Miss Vallejo? It's our last question.
Okay, on page 37, what details help you understand how the rocks were formed? I want y'all to show me your text evidence on page 37.
I went out of order. Sorry, guys.
And boys and girls, you can annotate on the screen so that you can underline or highlight whatever text evidence you want to show us. On view options, you go to annotate and you can underline the text evidence that Miss Vallejo and Miss Kuykendall are asking you for.
I was going to show y'all that.
Wait, how do y'all do it?
Up at the
I'll
top
show
of your
you.
screen, view options, annotate.
I don't see
Talking
nothing.
about in the book. Okay, you're talking about on Zoom. Gotcha.
Oh, yes, I am talking about Zoom. I'm sorry.
I was trying to show them how on the book. Oh, man. Okay, guys, so how do we know? And this should think back to your video from yesterday. How do you know how rocks are formed? Where does it help you out with that in the book? We got you the page. Oh, someone's underlining something for me.
Ooh.
So right here, it's explaining it for us. It's saying that the igneous is made from what?
Hardened magma.
Good. And what does it say right there in your text, AJ?
Volcanic rock.
Good job, guys. Do y'all have any questions for us over your reading? If you haven't done so already, you should take your quiz today and be sure to justify your answers with that text evidence. Guys. All right, Miss Massar.
Okay, boys and girls, I'm going to take the screen over from Miss Kuykendall. Oops.
I always forget to stop my share. I'm sorry.
You're good. Okay, so yesterday in my class, we talked about a genre of writing. Can anybody remind me what genre of expository writing we are working on this week?
Description.
Description. And when we're talking about descriptive writing, what are we talking about? I want to hear from Miss Lorelei. There's a hint in the name. So descriptive writing is all about what, Lorelei?
Describing what
Describing. Yes, ma'am. That's exactly right. We're going to describe what we're talking about. And we're going to give lots and lots of details. Again, we're talking about that text structure as main idea and details. So today on our plan, we are going to be talking about creating that plan for writing. So we're going to do some brainstorming. I'm going to show you how I would like for you to plan this, which is why those of you who came to Zoom a little bit early saw my notes that asked you to grab a piece of paper and a pencil. That will help you a lot. So if you have something handy to write with, you can take notes in a hot second when I tell you to, and that's really going to help you. But let's start off, and it's actually really awesome that we kind of just reviewed with Ms. Kuykendall and Ms. Vallejo, because I would like for us to brainstorm some details about different types of rocks. So Diver, can you give me one of the types of rocks you guys read about and that we just reviewed?
Volcanic rock.
Volcanic rock, that's true. Can you tell me, can you be a little bit more specific? What was one of the wondrous rocks that y'all read about in a section of the text? For example, the very first one that we talked about was the ringing rocks. Ivor, can you tell me another type of wondrous rock that we read about? What about Natalie? I see you are on here this morning. Natalie, can you tell me about one of the types of rocks y'all read about in your text? Jessie, can you tell me one of the types of rocks?
Those moving rocks in Death Valley?
That's exactly right, Jessie. Thank you. Those were the sailing rocks.
I have to plug in my PC. I'll be back.
You're good, babe. Okay. Let me see. Who else is in here? Gabriel. Gabriel, haven't heard your voice in a while. Give me a type of rock, Gabriel. I got ringing rocks. I got sailing rocks. There's 2 more types of rocks that y'all read about.
Volcano rocks,
The fire rocks, the eternal flame rocks. Very good, Gabriel. And last but not least, we talked a lot about this one. There's one more type of rock that we need to discuss. Can somebody tell me what it is?
sentimental rocks.
These were underground, and they are made out of limestone, and there's big caves of them, but I'm not looking for the name cave. And they're made from water dripping off the ceiling. Yeah, the cavern. The caverns. Very good. So in your prompt, you were told to choose one of the types of rocks, describe it, and explain what makes it wondrous, what makes it special. So let's look a little bit deeper about each type of rock and let's give some details about them.
Oh.
Let's start with the ringing rocks because that was first in your text. And to help us, I'm gonna be real nice. I'm gonna share my screen. That's always in the way. And I'm going to come right here and I'm going to go to that section of the text about the ringing rocks so you guys can look at it. What are some details that you can share with me about the ringing rocks? For example, what do they sound like? What did they compare them to? They said that the rocks sound like what?
They sound like a whistle.
A whistle? What else did they compare the rocks to?
Strange sounds in concerts.
Like a concert? A bell, thank you. They said that it rings like a bell. What else can you tell me about the ringing rocks? Were they made of a specific type of rock?
Yes, they were made by igneous rock.
Igneous rock? Carter, can you give me a detail about these rocks, please, ma'am?
The ringing comes from the thawing and freezing.
Oh, they thaw and they freeze. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Good detail. Can somebody else tell me something about these rocks? They have high levels of something in them.
Iron?
Iron. Awesome, Jesse. Thank you. Lots of iron. Very, very, very good. Okay. There's one more detail that I think is very interesting in here, and it's something about the sounds that they produce. Can somebody tell me a very interesting detail? You might want to look at the screen about the sounds that these rocks produce. Is it a high-pitched sound? Is it a low-pitched sound?
It's too low for humans to hear.
That's right, it's too low for humans to hear. So can we hear them?
No.
No.
No. That's kind of sad. I want to hear this sound. Too low for humans. Okay, let's switch gears and let's talk about the next rock. Let's talk about these fire rocks. I think those are very interesting. Give me some details about these eternal flame rocks. And I want to hear some new voices. So we're gonna put, let's let Turner and let's let Jesse have a break. I want to hear some new voices. What can you guys tell me about these eternal flames?
They sometimes need help flaming up.
Say that a little bit louder.
Forever.
Oh, they last forever.
They last forever.
How do you know they last forever? What word in the name? Eternal. That's right. That's one of your vocabulary words. Why do these rocks catch on fire? What are they burning?
Organic?
Is
I heard the word organic, but there's a very specific thing that the eternal flame burns. Look at paragraph 6 and you're going to see something.
gases.
What kind of gas? Be more specific.
Fossil organic matter?
Mira, the eternal flame burns natural gas. What kind of gas? Burns natural gas made of organic matter. Very good. This is like fossil fuels, boys and girls. They're talking about matter that was made like back in the time of the dinosaurs. Yeah. What kind of rock specifically does this come from?
Rock?
Yeah, there's a very specific type of sedimentary rock that these are made from. Can y'all look in paragraph 6 and tell me? It's on the screen.
Organic matter.
Tree rock.
Shale. Oh, whoever just annotated that screen, you are awesome. That's right. It makes out a shale rock. So it's not the rocks that we see outside that do this. It has to be a specific type of rock. What can you tell me about the flame of these rocks? How big does it get?
8 to 28 inches and 20 centimeters tall.
Ooh, is that big or is that small?
Small.
It's not as big as a ruler. Yes, no? How many inches is a ruler?
12.
12. So it's smaller than a ruler. Okay. And just to give you guys a little bit of background knowledge on this, you know the oil rigs that we have around here and they have the flame on top? That's the same thing that these rocks are burning. That's natural gas from the inside of the earth. Yes. Okay, let's talk about the caverns now. So the caverns are on the very next page. Let's talk about caverns. What details can you guys give me about caverns? I'm gonna let Turner and Jesse tag in.
They're usually formed from water weathering away rocks.
Ooh, I love the vocabulary word of weathering, Turner. Can you please explain to everybody what that means while I write it on the board?
Weathering means erosion, basically. It's when something is broken or chipped away over a long period of time.
Awesome. Can somebody else give me another detail about these caverns?
They're old.
They're old.
Yes, I said it.
What else can you say? I heard
They look cool.
they look cool. Be more specific. You know how I feel about the word cool.
They look awesome.
What makes them awesome?
All the minerals.
All the minerals. That is so true. Minerals like limestone. I'm looking at a detail in paragraph 8 near the end of the paragraph. Can you guys tell me if I were to go into these caverns, would they be dull? D-U-L-L?
No.
What? Why not? What detail tells you that?
Crystals.
Sparkling with crystals. That sounds beautiful to me.
Shining with crystals.
Shining with crystals. Let's see. I need some vocabulary words. I'm looking for 2 words that name the formations in the cavern.
Stalagmites.
That's one of them. Stalagmites. What's the other one?
Are stalactites
And
the one that are on the top and bottom?
Stalactites. Very good. All right. And last but not least, we're going to talk about that last type of rocks, and we are looking at those sailing rocks. What can you tell me about the sailing rock?
They've been formed for thousands of years.
Ooh, formed for thousands of years. Where am I going to go find these rocks?
Underground.
Death Valley National Park.
Not California.
California. Death Valley, California.
Just because the page is buffer.
Yeah, my computer decided to not be cool. What makes them move? They grow legs?
The ice forms on them and wind pushes them.
Ooh, ice and wind. Why would ice make the rock move when the wind blows? What about ice would make those rocks move?
The ice is light.
Slides on dirt and stuff.
Yeah, it's slippery. Is there any friction? Is there
No.
anything gonna stop it? Nope.
Only other rocks it bumps into it.
That is exactly right. It would only stop if it bumps into another rock. Can you guys tell me anything else about the sailing rocks before we talk about our plan?
They look cool.
They look cool.
They look shiny and beautiful.
They're shiny and beautiful. The sailing rocks are shiny and beautiful. Do you guys agree?
Since it's a desert, they usually only move at night because it's cold.
Oh, they only move at night. Can you tell me about deserts at night?
They're very cold.
They're very cold. So the ice forms, and then, like we said earlier, there's not enough friction, so the rocks move. Okay, so I will take a picture of this and I will upload it into ClassTag. This is not necessarily what I wanted you guys to take notes on. What I want you to take notes on is what I'm going to show you next. So let's see if I can trash my makeshift classroom real quick. Oh no. Okay. So if you guys
Hey, Miss
papers,
Massard.
yes, sir.
I'm surprised I know that.
You are very smart. Don't be surprised. Okay, so if you have your paper and your pencil, I would like for you to please copy these 2 rectangles down as I talk about it. So we always have to have a plan for writing, and this is the plan that I would like for you to please use. We are not going to use a kernel I because we are not writing a composition this week. We are writing a paragraph.
We're not? Oh.
No composition, just 1 paragraph. So we're going to have a different plan for writing. So up here, I want you to tell me which rocks you choose, whether you choose the flame rocks, whether you choose the ringing rocks, the caverns, or the sailing rocks. I want to know. In the top box is going to be the first part of what you are writing about. That is your description, your describing. So this is where you're going to list all of those interesting details that you've read about. Then you're going to move on to why. Why are we going to call this a weird, wondrous rock? What makes it special compared to all of the other rocks that we could be studying? Okay, so if this was me and Miss Massar was writing this paper, I would tell you that this should be anywhere from 3 to 5 sentences. So 3 to 5 details about your rock. And just FYI, you know, if you want to be really awesome, you could do extra research, just saying. And down here, if this was Miss Massar writing her paper, she would do 1 to 2 sentences that explain why it's wondrous, why special. Okay, so here's your plan. You fill in your boxes, you turn it into
A description.
paragraph. Not a big description, a paragraph. Not a composition, a paragraph. Remember, minimum of 6 sentences. Not 3, not 2, 6. Okay? Tomorrow, I'm going to talk to you about diagrams, what they are, what has to be included, and how to make one. So before I stop recording, do you have any questions for me that I can help you with really quickly?
Miss Massar,
Yes, sir.
I accidentally turned in my writing journal thing because we were in such a hurry. So I need to keep track of what I have to write. Where do I find that?
On the s'more, on the Goliad Facebook page, the s'more has the writing calendar. Does that make sense, Jessie?
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions for me, boys and girls?
How do we get to ClassTag?
How do you get to ClassTag? Your mom has it. There's an app and there's a website. So if you go to classtag.com and you log into your mom's account with her help, you should be able to see everything there.
Okay.
Okay? How else can I help you? Okay, if there's no more questions, I'm going to stop the recording.